Welcome back to Only the Truth, my true crime podcast. I am your host, Maureen Ann Meehan, and today we are going to take a journey in the down the Snake River in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is the scene of the crime in my second novel that I crafted many years ago called Snake River Secret, a Mary MacIntosh novel. I will show you the cover of the Snake River in Jackson Hole, Teton area of Wyoming, where I grew up. And this story I wrote as a result of my legal secretary being murdered in 1996 in Aliso Viejo, California. Lisa and I were very close. And when she was murdered by her estranged husband, it deeply affected me personally and professionally. Uh, I actually resigned from that law firm and went out and hung my own shingle, as I did not want to work with any of these partners ever again based on how they handled her death. So, welcome to Only the Truth. So today we're going to talk about Snake River Secret, a Mary MacIntosh novel that I wrote. And I like to start off by reading you some of the Amazon reviews received. I think they're very telling as to what is good about this novel. This one is a 5-star review, January 25th of 2025, by a woman by the name of Perilous, and she calls it a gripping thriller where danger flows deep. As attorney Mary MacIntosh and her partner Andrew Harrison go on a risky expedition to find their missing legal assistant, Snake River Secret immerses readers in an exciting adventure that is fast-paced and full of suspense. On the backdrop of Wyoming's hazardous Snake River and the mysterious Popo Agie caverns, Maureen Ann Meehan skillfully crafts a story of suspense and mystery set against the backdrop of the Teton Mountains, a web of conspiracies being uncovered as a result of a frenzied search conducted by Mac and Harrison, which poses a threat to the cohesiveness of their tight-knit community in Jackson Hole. Meehan's second installment in the Mary MacIntosh series is a fantastic example how action, mystery, and regional flavor can harmoniously coexist perfectly. The novel Snake River Secret manages to keep readers on the edge of their seats by providing them with a well-developed character, chase sequences that make your heart race, and a stunning revelation. Fans of legal thrillers and everyone else who appreciates a thrilling story of danger and betrayal in the American West should read this compelling page-turner, a must-read that comes highly recommended 5 stars. Here's another one by Megan Brame, dated February 5th, 2025. Maureen Ann Meehan's Snake River Secret continues the thrilling adventures of defense attorney Mary MacIntosh. When her legal secretary mysteriously vanishes, Mac and her partner, Andrew Harrison, find themselves embroiled in a desperate search that takes them down the treacherous waters of the Snake River. Their pursuit leads them to a hidden cave where they uncover a web of secrets and conspiracies that threaten to shatter the tranquility of their seemingly idyllic community. Snake River Secret delivers a thrilling blend of suspense, adventure, and legal intrigue. Meehan masterfully crafts a fast-paced narrative that will keep readers on the edge of their seats as Mac and Harry navigate treacherous rapids to confront deadly adversaries. I'll read you just one more. This was from Michael Kavinci. He gave us 5-star review on February 3rd, 2025. In Snake River Secret, a Mary MacIntosh novel, Maureen Ann Meehan delivers another pulse-pounding thriller that will leave you breathless and eagerly turning the pages. This latest installment in the Mary MacIntosh series masterfully combines legal drama, adventure, and suspense set against the Jackson Hole, Wyoming's rugged and picturesque landscape. Oops. The story starts with a sense of urgency as Mary MacIntosh and her colleague Andrew Harrison, both prominent attorneys, discovered that their trusted legal secretary, Lela, had gone missing. What follows is a heart-stopping whitewater search down the treacherous Snake River as Mac and Harry race against time to find Lela before it's too late. Their journey takes them deep into the hidden recesses of the Popo Agie cave, where they uncover crucial clues left behind by Lela. Meehan's writing is immersive as ever, transporting readers to the wild and untamed environment of the Snake River. The vivid descriptions of the turbulent waters and the hidden cave add an extra layer of tension and excitement to the narrative. As Mac and Harry navigate the dangerous currents and evade a ruthless drug dealer willing to kill to protect his secrets, readers will find themselves on the edge of their seats. One of the most compelling aspects of Snake River Secret is the intricate web of conspiracy and betrayal that Mac and Harry unravel. The shocking revelations they uncover have the potential to tear apart long-standing family ties and shatter the once tight community of Jackson Hole. Meehan expertly crafts a story full of twists and turns, keeping readers guessing until the very end. So, good reviews. It is a page turner. It's one of my favorite novels. It honors obviously my legal secretary Lisa, but creator as a protagonist to keep her alive in my heart. Chapter 1, not going to read you the whole book. I'm just going to read you some excerpts. I woke slowly Saturday morning, sluggish and exhausted from the O'Connor trial. It was my first shot at being a big-time lawyer in a small town, and the experience kicked my butt. My name is Mary MacIntosh, and I'm a trial attorney. And as you probably gathered, working for Harry Harrison, well known as a big shot lawyer in the small town of Jackson, Wyoming, near Yellowstone National Park in the Grand Tetons. It wouldn't be such a bad job if Harry would give me more responsibility. I've been working for him for 7 years, and all I do, it seems, is the boring stuff that Harry doesn't want to do. So that's the beginning, introducing Harry and Mac and where they are in their relationship early on in the Mary MacIntosh series. So I read you from now our murder victim, Lela, her legal secretary. Lela's father, Ed Washakie Duran, was one of several Shoshone chiefs in the greater Wind River Range. His Washakie name meant the rattler, which was not a comparison to a snake, but an allusion to the rawhide buffalo rattle that his great-grandfather, Chief Washakie, used to scare Sioux Indian ponies during his many daring raids in the early 1900s. So it gives you a little background of what type of Native American Lisa was and her background with her family there in Jackson. Going back into another excerpt, I bolted back into her living room. Hey, Harry, look at this. Leela's coffee table was covered in a brightly colored Navajo blanket, and on top of it, a half-empty bottle of wine with a tall tumbler next to it with a quarter of the way full of yellow liquid. Harry leaned down on one knee to smell the contents of the glass. Smells like wine. Leela's a Southern Comfort and Coke drinker. I've offered her wine many times, but she's always turned me down. She won't even try a sip of my fine vintage. Harry braced his hand against the arm of the couch and grimaced as he stood down on his knee, and there was a huge stain on his jeans. Is your knee bleeding? Do you think that one of the pins down there popped out? Should I call? No, my knee's fine, Harry said. The carpet is wet. Wet? I took a closer look at the burnt orange carpet. That looks like blood. So there's a tension building of the fact that they're in Leela's apartment and things are up, there's upheaval. There's been an incident or altercation and somebody left blood behind. This is Harry talking in the novel in a different excerpt. I went to the sweat lodge with Ed Washakie Duran. He had visions of John and Lela. A sweat lodge, Mac said. Visions? You gotta be kidding me, Harry. You accuse your son of being involved in something based on Ed Duran's visions in a sweat lodge? What have you been doing all day? Smoking? Good Lord. That now we're turning into the town of the descriptions of Jackson Hole. Jackson's Town Square is one of the most unique city blocks I've ever seen. Centered in the quintessential Western downtown, it is flanked on all four corners with four giant arches made from hundreds of elk antlers. I watched the children running in the grass and climbing the century-old trees while laughing and singing. As the front door to the police station closed behind me, the children's voices were replaced with ringing telephones. A dispatcher was talking into a microphone, fielding the constant barrage of calls. Focused on the sounds before me, I didn't hear Tim Marshall saunter in behind me. When he tapped me on the shoulder, I almost jumped out of my skin. So that's what Jackson Hole looks like. If you've ever been to Jackson Hole, that would accurately describe this darling, quintessential Western town. Now we're focusing back along the Snake River. Any more information about the campground? Mac asked while fastening her seatbelt. My CNN contact said that the hiker found looks like blood on a denim jacket at the campground near the Snake River. I don't know much else. So now they're trying to find Lela. They've tracked down her blood-stained jean jacket. Moving to a new excerpt. Listen up, everyone. We've talked about eddy turns, peel outs, and bat ferries. Let's refresh ourselves on what to do if we get stuck in the hole. Dan Sanson, the owner of a rafting company, said. He looked to be in his late 40s with graying hair and 3-day-old beard. His arms and legs were well defined and tan from all of his work on the river. So he is the rafting guide that's going to take them down the Snake River. So now they're at Lunch Counter, which is one of the famous rapids on the Snake River. Lunch counter's heating up, Dan said, interrupting the discomfort of the face-off we were having. Jerry backpedaled as quickly as he could, but our rafts crashed together. Keep your arms inside. The rafts jettisoned forward, picking up speed. Holy moly, Harry said as we bumbled over the white water, which turned into a plunging dip of coasters. We plummeted into the depths of the mist, spattering squarely on the surface, and we twisted sideways, the raft high-sided against a large rock, throwing us to the left and then spinning us around and backwards. Man in the drink, Dan roared. Looking back, Harry had gone overboard. They're down the right whitewater rafting, trying to find Lela in the Snake River. Her lifeless body rested face down in the river, stuck between the crags of two large boulders, her hair swimming freely. One arm was caught under her and out of sight, but the other was floating back and forth like a flagman on the highway during construction. Her feet were bare, and she was wearing only the jean skirt that she had on that day at the office on Friday. She looked plump, probably bloated. So now they have found Lela's lifeless body in the Snake River, and now they know she's dead. Now we're back into the Wind River Range. Tell us about Popo Agie, I asked. This was the cave that they ended up going into, which was Harry and Mac went into this cave, and this is where Lela was storing these illegal drugs that got her into trouble. And I'd talk about the cave and what it looks like in there. It's a Native American place of worship to this day. Popo Agie means dripping water, and that's how a cave is formed, by dripping water. And in this case, natives worshiped there. But Lela was using it as a storage place for illegal drugs. And this is at the very end of the book when Mac and Harry are coming back together to discuss what's happened. This is Mac. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, I said, as we raced to catch the next available airplane. John Lennon? Harry quoting John Lennon. They're both right. Life really is happening, and I feel like it's time to make it happen for us. And by the way, Harry will be okay. I nodded. So, makes me tear up a little bit at the end of Snake River Secret. I loved writing this novel, and it was hard for me to put down. I felt like I was leaving behind good friends, particularly my legal secretary. So thank you for joining me on Only the Truth, my true crime podcast. I will be back next week with another one, and this time we're going to focus on one of my favorite novels I've written, Powder River Poison. Stay tuned, and You can't make up true crime. It's the real deal, and that's why I write about it. Thank you very much for your time.